Gott kvöld og velkomin í þetta auka Kastljós á miðvikudagskvöldi 10. júní. Gestur okkar Eva Joly, ráðgjafi sérstaks saksóknara. Welcome, Madam Joly.
Thank you.
Now, I want to start, I might say from the beginning. On the 28th of March, you held a press meeting. You were very optimistic about the investigation.
Yes.
You said that there was a high chance that it would be successful, etc. Now you are considering to quit. Can you tell us what has happened in those just over 2 months, or not happened?
Yes. I also said in this press meeting that I would only be an advisor to this inquiry as long as I felt useful and as long as I was sure that this was useful to the Icelandic people. And today I'm asking myself a question. And I cannot talk about the investigation because that is covered by secrecy, but I can tell about the structure. I have one main concern. And this is a problem that is easy to settle and that has not been settled. And I'm afraid that this can jeopardize the whole investigation. I think that your state prosecutor, he's called Valtýr Sigurðsson, is disqualified for being a state prosecutor in this tremendous investigation because his son was involved in one of the holding companies of the banks. He is involved in this case. So this is very clear that he is disqualified. He cannot be the state prosecutor. And then there are different solutions. What do you do when a state prosecutor is indirectly involved in a case? Well, you can ask him to retire, or you can set up an ad hoc prosecutor. I do think that in this case, where there are so many cases that we have to look into in this tremendous investigation, this country cannot live with a state prosecutor that is disqualified. Also because people involved in the investigation need to be able to refer to an experienced state prosecutor. So I do not like the idea that he could be partly set aside and that we should have an ad hoc state prosecutor. I think this man is very close to retirement, and even if this is not my part to decide on, I think that for this government not to deal with this problem.
Have you asked for it?
Yes, this is common knowledge. This is very serious, and I think that, well, they cannot go on like this, and this should be a public request. We need, in this country, to help us conduct this tremendous investigation, an experienced and not disqualified state prosecutor. This is the first point. And this can be, I think, settled quite easily within, this should have been done. I mean, I have been here since March, more than 2 months. This should have been settled, but it has not been settled. And this gives very wrong signals.
Has it been tried to settle it? Has he said that he won't retire, or has it never come to that?
I don't know that. I am not inside the government. But this I can see from my point. This is not possible to live with. And in this society, this has to be dealt with. We need a state prosecutor, and we need him to be in full possession of his possibility of action. And also because when your parliamentarian commission will give their report in November, the state prosecutor will make the filter of what can be handled on to the special prosecutor's office. And then there must be no suspicion on how this work is done. And even if Mr. Valtýr Sigurðsson is the most wonderful man in the world, the fact that his son is involved is sufficient for him to be taken away. So this is my first point. And it's very wrong signal not to have dealt with it. making me asking myself, is there a real will to deal with the problems here? Because this is easy. And this can be dealt with all over the world. It is an easy thing to do.
But there has been no response to your knowledge?
It has been no response to my knowledge. I think that the government are working on a solution, but it is a compromise solution that is not satisfactory. That was the first point. And then the second point is the structure of the Special Prosecutor's Office. This is a rather small structure, and there is only one special prosecutor. This is not possible, because when you shall make inquiries into 3 main banks with a lot of problems within each bank to be looked into thoroughly, you cannot have one man coordinating all the investigations. We need really at least 3 independent prosecutors. And these prosecutors should be in charge of their own inquiries and should not be under the authority of the special prosecutor. I think that the special prosecutor could have kind of administrative authority, you know, the budget, the premises and all this. This is how it is in Norway. In Norway we have the head of Økokrim. He's not the head of the inquiries. And this is vital. We cannot get forward with the most important inquiry in history, probably in Europe, with one inexperienced prosecutor. This is also very easy to understand. And I can see that there are problems, because you set up this office, you have laws that say that he is the only man that can recruit. And but I think you should find a political solution, because when this office was set up, maybe people did not have the broad picture of how important it is. But today we have this broad picture, and we know that this structure